All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? I am Mad Statter, and this is Chatter with Statter, and that means it is 5 p.m. West Coast time, 2 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. That is right. Okay, so it looks like we've got moderator Shock in the house, letting us know that we do have the gear of control. So if your Twitch is acting a little twitchy, by all means, downgrade your system and you might find some smooth sailing ahead. And if you are watching on YouTube, we also have a gear. I don't know whether or not YouTube's going to be twitchy. You never know what YouTube's going to be. But check this out. Why don't you like and subscribe while you're sitting around watching this YouTube video? And maybe you can check us out on Twitch for the live stream and you can join in the chat. And it looks like we have got another person in the chat right now. Darlene, good to see you. One of our Central Time folk right there. All right, now that we're gathering around, why don't we get the party started? Perfecto. All right, let's turn that background music on now that we're getting the groove. Looks like Gina's in the house. We're not going to see Rick today, it sounds like, because he is up north for a few days, but Darlene holding down the house in Wisconsin right now. Darlene, just have to ask, is this, I know that Rick sometimes goes up by himself to button up for the season and then unbutton at the beginning of the season. So is it safe to assume that now that Rick is heading north for a few days by himself, perhaps this is the end of your vacationing season and the cabin's going to get shut up for the winter? Obviously, you don't have to let us know, but I'm just curious, as it were. I'm just curious. And you know, I always ask questions. My mom used to call me Nosy Rosie because I asked too many questions. And let's see here. Picola T, hi from extremely hot Vegas. Gosh, you know, I'm not at all surprised. It sounds like it is hot up and down the West Coast. Here today in Seattle, I think we're looking at like 77 degrees, so we're perfect. But yeah, Belly Bear coming in, hot day in San Diego, East County. And how's it, Belly Bear? Good to see ya. And Picola T, obviously, you know, bacon in the Las Vegas situation. I got a message from Andre earlier. He is, as we all know, he lives in the Bay Area, and apparently records have been breaking there. I don't remember the exact number, but it was an uncomfortable number, and that was the Bay Area. And Bay Area generally is known to be a smidge cooler than, say, San Diego. So, you guys, I'm really glad that you're alive and not shriveled and blown away in the dust. And Darlene, okay, so not buttoning up. That's more of a mid-October thing. Awesome. I was wondering, in Western Washington, September is one of our best months, I would say, for weather. It's sunny, not too many rainfalls, not too hot. And so I just sort of think of September as still like second summer. And so I was thinking, God, it's just so early to be buttoning up for fall. But in Wisconsin, I just never know when your fall begins. But it sounds like mid-October is when your fall begins. Mid-October is when the rain starts to fall here. So that sounds like we got all the W states are in sync. Well, okay, maybe not true. We don't have a West Virginia person here to, or a Wyoming person. Gosh, you know, I didn't realize there were so many W states. Never mind. And let's see here. All right. So this week, I finally did something that you guys asked me to do. And I went on a white Center Holo Holo. And so, oh, hey, eMusic. We'll talk about the Holo Holo in a little bit. But eMusic, 68, beautiful. See, eMusic, I can hang out with you today. 68, we got 77 up here, but 68 is even more better, in my opinion. And let's see here. Darlene, most of your garden is finishing already, though. Plenty of squash, tomatoes, green beans, and herbs. Yum. You know, my boss always grows green beans, and I always steal the green beans from her, so I never have to buy any. This year, she grew some really gross Italian flat green beans, which was just not... I like string beans, not other beans. So I was very disappointed in her bean crop this year. I mean, I suppose, what am I supposed to do? It's her garden, not mine. So I was very impressed, Darlene, when I saw that your green beans were of the string variety, and I got a little bit jealous, I must say. And Picola Tea, exactly, another W place, White Center, and that is exactly it. So today, we have got a very, very, very rough cut of the White Center Holo Holo. I'm going to be doing more work on it. There's one section in particular that's just like, oh, what did you do? Why did you? Oh, no. But aside from that one section, I figure like, okay, this is maybe doable, maybe showable for the stream. And so I wanted to, because I talk about White Center so much, and you guys, I believe it might have been C Honda suggested we do a little bit of a White Center Holo Holo. I figured on last Monday, I drove around. Traffic was practically non-existent, so that was beautiful. So I got some pretty good footage of the town that is White Center. White Center is actually quite a large area, but the heart of White Center is where the weirdness happens. That's right. And so we're going to show where the weirdness happens. We didn't catch any. Well, we did catch a little bit of weirdness on tape, but that's okay. We didn't catch very much weirdness on tape. And then the video will eventually end in the sketchy parking lot across the street from Zippy's. So we're going to share, I'm going to share that video with you guys in a little bit. But before we do that, let's see here. Oh, okay. So Belly Bear, you're bringing in some knowledge that I was wondering about. So it will be cool to the 80s by this weekend. Tail end of Baja Mexico Pacific hurricane. And isn't that hurricane like Hurricane Earl or something? I feel like, okay, people who live in hurricane areas definitely need to help me here. But I thought that every year the East Coast hurricanes are named boy names and the West Coast hurricanes are named girl names, and then the next year it switches. So like, I think all of the Caribbean hurricanes this year, are they girls? And then the boy hurricane, that one's from the West Coast, right? Somebody help me here. And let's see here. Wait, Picola T, you liked going to Williamsburg when you lived in Newport News? Newport News is a town? I mean, it sounds more like... Isn't there a brand of cigarettes called Newport News? Or maybe that's just Newport. Newport News is a town? Or did you just mean to say Newport? What? Okay, so, all right, so Shock is also saying Newport News. So I guess that means that it's a thing. And, oh, Gina, you finally passed the sports unit in Duolingo. That's been vexing you for a couple weeks. I'm assuming perhaps you're talking about Olelo, Hawaii. Excellent. And, so let's see here. Shock, the hurricane names are named in boy-girl alternation. So we would get a Clyde and then an Eileen. Wait, but... What? No, what? No, but wait. What? Why wouldn't you get a Hurricane Darlene before you got a Hurricane Eileen? I thought that they went in alphabetical order. You skipped the D name. Now I'm very confused. But okay, Newport News is a thing. It's got its own airport and it's got its own weather forecast. Okay. All right. Shaq, because I asked. I can't argue. All right. But I don't think I remembered that way. Oh, well, whatever. Let's see here. Oh, shock. Okay, so White Center is sort of like Newport News. Okay, I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that logic. All right, well, since we're talking about W names, and we're talking about White Center, and we're talking about weirdness, because that's a W word, all right, why don't we just get into the little holo holo through White Center, and I'll be chatting in the sidebar probably. I might even pop my face in the video because I can do that now. All right, here's my newest example of learning video editing, and boy oh boy did this video give me a lot to learn from. Definitely learning how to use the GoPro and learning where to mount the GoPro. Where I mounted the GoPro in this video, I probably will never do it again. So lesson learned. And hey, Kenny from the Cove, good to see you here. We are about to get a sneak preview or a sneak peek in the neighborhood that I consider my home base, which is White Center. Not where I live, but I have lived White Center adjacent for basically the last 25 years, and so I do consider it the most the center of my being, as it were. And Gina, yes, you see, Gina is aware of what happened. Yeah, the backstory for this video. I guess I'll get into it before we go to the video. Yeah, no, I'll tell you this in a minute. Before I do that, I want to say, hi, everybody. Hey, how you doing, Mariana? Good to see you here. Awesome. All right, so we're about to watch a video of White Center. However, Gina knows a secret that I wasn't going to say, but now I'm going to because it's just so silly. I went and did this video. I drove around White Center for like 35-40 minutes, making sure to get every angle of every street and every possible thing you could want to see. I got it. And then I went to turn the camera off, and I turned the camera on because the camera hadn't been going for the entire trip. So all the everythings, all the good, great shots that I got. Oh yeah, I got great shots. Yeah, I got them. They're in my head. But yeah. So when I said, oh, no. Yeah, exactly, Darlene. I didn't actually say, oh, no. I said something else. It started with an F. We're not going to talk about what I said because I think we already know. But yeah, I said it a few times. So, yeah, had to go back, did the run again. Didn't get nearly as many good shots because there was people in the way and cars in the way, etc., etc. So, yeah, this is my second attempt at the Holo Holo from White Center. Let's check it out. All right, so I might narrate a little bit. Right now, we're going through the Top Hat neighborhood, and maybe you could see the little top hat on the top of the building at the beginning of that video. Top Hat, very close to White Center, and I just wanted to get the top hat in the video, but the top hat didn't show up very well. Lesson learned. Oh well. All right, I'm gonna go now. Okay, now we're turning down the main spine of White Center. This is the main drag of White Center. And yes, Darlene, it was a really nice day for the Holo Holo. But remember, you guys, it's raining. Now, I know that your lion eyes tell you that the sky is blue, and the sky might have been blue when it happened, but no, shh. This is Seattle area. So remember our story. It's raining. Because it always rains. So it's raining. Just remember that. And so as long as you can keep the secret, we can keep this video on the interwebs for everyone to see. It's raining. And Pacola, if a town doesn't have a main street, is it spineless? That's a good question. That is a really good question. And now, though, we are going into the heart of White Center. This is where the flavor happens. And yeah, exactly. There you go, Gina. Exactly. Like Hilo, it's either raining or it's about to be raining. You got it. That is it. Shock, you live right next to the spine of Newport News, Route 60. Nice, the spine. Yeah, no, this is just 16th Avenue Southwest. And as you can see, this is a little township per se, but it's actually, it's not a city. It's in unincorporated King County. Neither city that butts up on White Center, Burien being one of them, Seattle being the other. Neither city claims it. And right now, as we're crossing this street and I'm about to hit that guy, now we're actually in Seattle. As soon as you cross Roxbury, you are technically in the city of Seattle. But this is still White Center. I don't care what you say. I don't care. It's still White Center. And hey, Pinnell. Hey, Terry. How's it? Good to see you today. Raiding in. Thanks so much. Coming on in the middle of a White Center Holo Holo video I took this weekend. Now, I told the earlier folks this, but now I have to tell you, this is a video of Seattle, which means even though your eyes see blue sky, it's actually raining. Remember, it always rains in Seattle. So this video, Pinnell, I'm looking in your direction. Terry, I'm looking in your direction. This video is actually during the rain. Okay, it's raining. It's raining. It's raining. And you can maybe notice there's a lot of new construction that's going on in White Center. So it's obviously an up-and-coming little neighborhood. But for the most part, it still has its old school charm. You know, all the buildings are pretty low level. There's a lot of masonry, which is very disturbing in the Pacific Northwest, what with the earthquakes, etc. But you know, Belly Bear, where are the raindrops? Just imagine them. They're invisible raindrops. Yeah, I've got invisible windshield wipers that wipe the rain. That's it. Okay, maybe not, but still, you have to remember this. We don't want the secret to get out that Seattle sometimes has sunny days and sometimes it's pretty. This is what Seattle area, actually we're in Seattle on this stretch of street. This is what Seattle looked like on September 5th, 2022. And let's see here. Turning right, we're gonna go head west a little bit, passing Accurate Heating and Air Conditioning. Accurate Heating and Air Conditioning is I helped start that business. Ex of mine is the owner of that business, but he recently sold his business, and so now he is thinking about retiring. And so exactly, Picola T, you know what's going on. Don't tell the secret about sunshine in Seattle. That's all. You guys are questioning. You guys are getting a little too curious about where the raindrops are. The raindrops are there, even if you cannot see them. And you are in White Center, even if you cannot be here. And Darlene, I think she was talking about my imaginary friend, which I will tell you, when I was a little kid, my imaginary friend was Michael Jackson. But only the Michael Jackson when he was a little kid on the TV. He was my imaginary friend. Actually, that's not true. He was my imaginary brother. To tell you the truth. So, yeah, there you go. It's what little 3-year-old minds think of. And yeah, I know, Belly Bear. It looks more like Hawaii weather, but we're not going to tell anybody that. When you are telling people about all the videos that you've ever seen of Seattle, what you're going to say is, it's all rainy, man. All the videos I've ever seen, it's been rainy. There we go. That's it. It's raining. And so this stretch right here, we already went down one way, and now we're going the other way. This stretch is the stretch with some interesting, shall we say. And it used to, when I first moved to the area, it used to have more adult theaters and sex toy shops than like any other neighborhood I've ever been to in my life. But since then, the neighborhood has cleared up, has cleaned itself up a little bit. And so, so as you can see, there's, well, maybe you don't, maybe you can't see because you don't know where to look, but as you can see, there's only one adult theater left in White Center now. So much nicer place. And yeah, exactly, Terry. It's like a real life bus, only it's in White Center. And this is the punk rock flea market that happens every couple months. That building was intended to be a bar called the Unicorn, and that building was bought for that purpose right before the pandemic happened, and so that didn't end up happening. So I'm not sure if Unicorn is still going to be built in that location, but in the interim, they've used that building for the punk rock flea market every couple months, and so Belly Bear, you were up there in July or August in the 90s, no rain. Yeah, that's exactly it. You know the secret. Now, Belly Bear, the residents of Seattle are asking you to keep the secret, which is it does sometimes get sunny in Seattle, but shh. We're not going to tell anybody that. That's our secret. Now this right here, Southgate Roller Rink that we're looking at, that is the home to the Rat City Roller Girls. Let me rephrase that. That is the birthplace for the Rat City Roller Girls. It is no longer the home of the Rat City Roller Girls, but that is where that roller derby league got their start. And no, Terry, I'm definitely not going to try to run anybody over, although you might have come in actually right when I almost did run somebody over. There was a guy who was crossing the street who refused to get out of the way, and it was like, dude, you're in the way and you don't have the right of way, so you need to move. And that's how you drive in White Center. You know, sometimes the pedestrians think that they've got the right of way when they really don't, and you kind of have to just make them move. And I realize that's against every driving instruction you've ever been told in your life, but like really, seriously, it's true. And Terry in Scotland, I have never run over a sign or a pedestrian. However, I have totally hit a house. And when I hit that house, the wall was hit so hard that on the other side of the wall, the toilet that was there left its foundation and went shooting across the room through the wall into the hallway of the house that I hit. So I think that counts for something, don't you? I'm not saying it's something I should brag about, but here I am bragging about it, right? And Kenny, is that where you go to get punk rock flea market? Is that where you go to get your punk rock fleas? Possibly. I haven't been there in a while, but to tell you the truth, I would not be surprised at all. And this particular little section of street is the bus section. Oh wait, okay, so right there, that little pho Thai whatever store. There's an Asian restaurant on this street that we just passed that, seriously, you guys, they are so clean. I would eat out of their alleyway. The garbage section, their garbage cans behind their back door of the restaurant is cleaner than my house, okay? I mean, it is, they are so flippin' clean in that particular restaurant. Like I said, I'd eat in their flippin' alleyway. And, and yes, so, good to see you, Ann Ware, coming on in, saying hello to everybody's. And, yeah, the S hit the fan when Statter hit the house with the car. Yes, and I was so fortunate when I hit that house, because the people in the house were actually, like, kind of cool about it. I mean, as cool as you're gonna be, right? One of the guys came out of the house and looked, I looked at what had done, you know, what I had done. And he just was like, wow, yeah. I've had friends do stuff like this. I've never done stuff like this, but I have had friends do stuff like this. So, you know, they were pretty chill. Yeah, explain that one to the ER tech. I got hit in the head by a low-flying toilet. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Anne, well, I was just... Okay, Anne. Getting you caught up to speed here. This is a Holo Holo of White Center. And as I was driving or whatever, somebody mentioned that I wasn't running over people. And I was just like, well, I might not be running over people, but I sure as heck hit a house. And so you're kind of caught up now. But as you can see, watching this particular video, you might have noticed that White Center is very proud of who they are. They've got their name plastered all over their buildings. And yes, Terry, you caught that. Hung Long. Really? I went through that shopping mart just for the cheap joke. Just for the cheap joke. Because yes, really, they named the store Hung Long Asian Market. Or maybe it was Hung Long Asian Mart. I don't know what it was, but yeah, really. You saw that, you read that, you saw that right. And they're a really good, they're actually like, kind of like a cash and carry for Asian restaurants, I think. I mean, that's not really, anybody can shop there, but they are really, like if you need 57 pounds of artificial chicken-based ham loaf, go there, you will find it. They've got a lot of restaurant stuff there. It's a really cool market. And so now we're in the super sketchy parking lot that wasn't very sketchy that day, but the super sketchy parking lot across from Zippy's Giant Burgers, which is what we're focusing on across the street. That's Zippy's right there. And then we're all pal. Long live Zippy's. Oh, Anne. You thought that I was going to say they have really great hot dogs. That's hysterical. And you know what? I've never looked at their sausage collection. I feel remiss. They've got an excellent variety of tea, but it never occurred to me to go look at their sausages to see how long they're hung, as it were. Oh my, are we a little bit silly today? Yes, indeedy. Although, so actually, all right, see, now this is how my brain works. And you bring up actually an interesting question. So it seems like almost every culture has some sort of sausage, but I can't do, like, is there a Chinese food sausage? Is there an Asian, do Koreans make sausage? I know that Filipino people make sausage, but is sausage a part of, I can't really think of a whole lot of sausage dishes that are in Asian cuisines. So I'm very, suddenly I'm like, gosh, is there Asian sausages? I just don't know. And Kenny from the Cove, can you imagine you're just going about your business, no pun intended, and suddenly, bam, toilet upside your head? Okay, actually, you guys, I actually, you guys, it was kind of worse. Hey, Thomas the Turtle, and okay, you guys are coming in with like some serious awesomeness. So Chinese sausages seem to be skinny little ones. You get them in the banana leaf thingy in the dim sum place. Lup Chong says e-music, and so does Thomas the Turtle. Okay, cool. See, I'm so glad we had this conversation. All right, so I'm gonna have to go to I'm gonna have to go to Hung Long to see their Lup Chong and how skinny they are. Yeah. Yeah, Belly Bear, you have a Chamorro Guamanian friend who orders Big Mama hot dogs from Guam, and they're big. Yeah, actually, I knew that Guamanian folk had them. I knew that Filipino folk had them, but Guamanian and Filipino are both Asian and Islander. I was thinking more mainland Asian, but either way, it doesn't matter because we know now that everybody's got sausages, and yes, I need to go to Hung Long and look at the sausages. Shock, you got it. That is exactly it. So let's see. Oh my, we are silly. But okay, no. What I was gonna say to Kenny though was, all right. So, when I hit the house and the toilet situation happened, nobody got hit on the head. However. So I go through their yard, right? And they're like some, they're gravel and whatever. And before I hit their house, a lady was sitting on the toilet and she heard a weird noise. That was my car going over the gravel. She decided to get up off the toilet. She wasn't really sure what was happening, but she just decided, I need to get up off the toilet. No sooner did she get up off the toilet than the toilet shot off of its foundations across the room, through the wall, into the hallway. So actually, can you imagine sitting on the toilet when suddenly it jets across the room while you're still on it, going through the wall into the hallway? Yeah, how do you explain that to the ER tech? It's just like, well, I was sitting on the toilet and somehow I ended up in the hallway, still on the toilet. I don't really know what happened, man. And honestly, that would be a really legit statement because, I don't really know what happened, man. Yeah, it's exactly it. Hey, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, how you doing? We are making fun of me for the time that I hit a house with my car, and someone almost died on the toilet. And just don't bump into houses is all I have to say. Okay, and Belly Bear. So, okay, the sausages are cooked in noodle dishes and Asian dishes. Awesome. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Kenny from the Cove. We're talking about Hung Long. Yeah. Vanilla Coke Pepsi. I am a danger to society. I think you might be the first person to say that to me, but I'm surprised you're the first person to say that to me. I'm not going to argue at all. Yeah, exactly. I got hit in the noggin by a flying commode. Now I don't know math. Gina. Okay, Gina. See, now this is a really excellent question, actually. And first, though, hey, Darlene, glad you're back. Rick says hi. Hi there, Rick. I know he can't hear us, but okay. So, Gina, phenomenal, great story, because under any other circumstance, I probably would have been stoned. But I wasn't stoned that day. In fact, I was 1,000% sober. I was on the way to Alki Beach. I was on Delridge Way. One day I should take a picture of the house that I hit. Anyway, I was on the way to the beach to ride my bike, and I wanted to get there before sundown. Because after the sun goes down, the wind picks up, and it's really kind of hard to bike into the wind. Anyway, I wanted to get to the beach before a certain time. Clock was ticking, daylight was burning, and there was a car in front of me that was going like 10 miles under the speed limit, for miles upon miles. I was just stuck behind them, and it was really frustrating. So the first chance I got when I knew that there was going to be 2 lanes after the stoplight, I gunned it to get into the other, like just to pass them, to go. They were going to be in the left-hand lane. I was going to be in the right-hand lane. And so I gunned it to get past them to go in there. I hit some gravel, I guess. I actually don't know how the flying fork happened. I hit some gravel, lost control, went through the yard, hit the house. Now, I hit the house, right? And I'm a little dazed about what just happened. And so I'm like, okay, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, fudge, just hit the house. So I get out of the car, and out of nowhere, I mean, this guy appeared out of thin air. He materialized out of thin air. I do not believe in guardian angels, but if I did, I 100% say this guy was a guardian angel. He appeared out of thin flippin' air. And I swear to God, he was right out of 1978. He had a blonde mullet. He had on an AC/DC shirt, the baseball jersey sleeve with the ring collar and the black sleeves that 3/4 of the way. And then, I mean, just, he looked right out of 78. And he says to me, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I am." And he's like, "Have you been drinking?" And I say to him, "No." And he's like, "Do you need me to take anything?" And at which point I was like, oh, yes, I probably do. Because for the most part, at that point in my life, this was decades ago, I had weed in my car all the time. I always had weed in my car. So I turn and I look to where I normally keep my weed. And I remember, hey, I cleaned out my car yesterday. I don't have a lighter. I don't have a weed pipe. I don't have weed. I don't have nothing. I have nothing in my car. For the first time since I learned to drive, I don't have anything in my car. How did that happen? And so I turn and I look back and was like, no, dude, everything's cool. I mean, I was as dumbfounded as he was, right? And so then he disappeared into thin air again. And then at that point, the people come out from the house saying, "Oh, I've had friends do this. I've never done that. I've had friends do this, blah, blah, blah." As it turns out, not only was I sober, which was unusual, I didn't have any contraband in my car. Also unusual. Let's see here. Poppy Shaney, you picked an interesting time to drop in. I always have weed in my car. I don't anymore, but this back in the day when this happened, what happened, asks Poppy Shaney? I hit a house with my car. That's right, the house, man. I don't know where it came from. It just jumped out in the street at me or something like that. So yeah, I hit a house with my car. And then I had a guardian angel ask me if I had any drugs, and I didn't. And then Anne asked me, did I ever get to the beach? And no, I did not get to the beach. Instead, I had to have the cop drive me home, because the cop did eventually come to deal with this. And not only did the cop drive me home, he asked me out on a date. And that was kind of awkward because at that time, I was a weed dealer. And it was just like, And I didn't want to say no because I didn't want him to give me a bigger ticket. But at the same time, I didn't want to say yes because he was a cop. And I don't think it was a good idea for me to date a cop. So I did say no. He did not give me a bigger ticket. But there you go. That is, I didn't go to the beach. Instead, I got asked out by a cop. And there's actually more to the story than just that, but we're just going to leave it at that for right now. And so, yeah. And Vanilla Cooksy, did I pay for the cost to fix the house? Yes and no. That's what you have insurance for. So did my insurance pay for the cost to fix the house? Oh, yes. Did my insurance go up? Oh, yes. Did my car need to be fixed by my insurance? Oh, yes. Did I total my car? No, actually, I don't really know how it didn't get totaled, but I didn't total my car. But yeah, that's why you have insurance, my friend. And that's all I could think of. There was 2 things of that when I walked away from that. There was 2 things that I couldn't help but be so thankful for, which was, first off, no one got hurt. Because the lady who was on the toilet, sorry, the toilet lady, that's a horrible thing to say. The lady who was on the toilet really could have been hurt. She was a frail older woman. Like, the idea of, I was so horrified at how hurt she could have been. So I was very thankful no one got hurt. And then the second thing I was thankful for, and actually they were both equal thankfuls, was, oh my God, I'm so glad I have insurance. Oh my God, this is what you have insurance for. This is what you have insurance for. This is what you have insurance for. So, just, yeah. Have insurance. Just have insurance. So, Belly Bear, at 19, your brakes went out as you were driving downhill. You pulled the emergency brake up as you rolled into your home and hit the garage door, which stopped you. All good. Parents not mad. Yeah, well, especially if you can prove mechanical failure. Me, on the other hand, really could just prove failure. Yeah, so there you have it. And Poppy Shaney, thank you so much for gifting some subs to eMusic today. Fantastic. And let's see here. And see, you didn't get there any faster, you're sure, the cop said. No, that's actually not what the cop said. He actually threatened me with reckless driving, which as he pointed out, is kind of worse than a DWI. But luckily I didn't get the reckless. Yeah, it was a very, all things considered, it was a very blessed event. I had a guardian angel show up. I wasn't under the influence. No one got hurt. I had insurance. Everyone walked away. It was a very blessed event. I know it's a very strange thing to think of as a blessed event, but it was a blessed event. And, yeah. So let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, you should have gone for the cop, because if they're shady, they can be so much fun. You speak from experience. Well, Kenny, it's funny you should say that, because there was this other time. Yeah, exactly. And the toilet lady didn't meet her maker on the throne. Exactly. And you're picturing the scene from Fast Times at Ridgemont High when Spicoli wrecks the car. I wasn't going quite that fast, but honestly, like, yeah, that's a valid visual, very valid visual. But it took more than just a couple tools to fix it. It took a lot of tools to fix it. Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you have a driver's test. That's next month. I'm not making you feel ready. Well, I'm pretty sure. I mean, first off, I didn't get this cocky behind the wheel when I was fresh driving. You know, I'd already been driving for probably like close to 10 years at that point. Oh, Kenny, a flying commode emote. Now that is a good idea. I might be able to do that. Yeah, first off, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, do what Shock just said, which is don't speed around a slow driver and hit some gravel. But also, this happened to me on my driver's test, and to tell you the truth, most people it probably wouldn't happen to, but this actually might happen to you. So I will tell you this one thing in your driver's test. When I took my driver's test, I pulled down a road because the driver's ed guy was like, pull down this road. So I did, and I was met by a flock of geese. They might have been ducks. Waterfowl. I was met with a flock of waterfowl that literally took over the entire road. And they were just standing there. And so, like, what do you do? I mean, there's nothing in the driver's ed booklet about a herd of ducks in the road, right? You know, this is what I'm thinking as I'm sitting here freaking out because I don't know what to do. And because it's like, well, do I honk? Blah, blah, blah. Well, as it turns out, at least in the state of Washington, as long as you proceed slowly and you don't actively try to kill the ducks, the driver's ed guy is fine. So he told me, it's like, just proceed slowly. Just, you know, they'll get out of your way. So in theory, the ducks are going to get out of your way and you can go forward slowly. That is my advice for your driver's test. If you run into a flock of ducks or geese who won't move, just proceed slowly and they'll eventually disperse. Well, Kenny, it seemed like it was a herd of ducks. I mean, it was a huge cattle drive of flying felines, except for they weren't felines, they were flying fowl. That's really what I meant to say. Of waterfowl, only they weren't flying. They were just standing there looking at me. And I was sitting behind the car looking at them. And I wasn't sure if I honked. Like, well, if I honk, will that do anything? So, yeah, you know, it was a herd of ducks. Was it a rampage of ducks? A stampede of ducks. Well, a stampede implies movement. This was more like a defense line of just, you know, solid, well, where do you think you're going? And it was like, well, clearly I don't think I'm going anywhere. And they're like, yeah, that's right. You're not going anywhere. You're just sitting there in your driver's test car, freaking out, and we're just going to stand here and we're just going to stare at each other. So, well, Pinnell, in Canada, you have to stop for geese crossing the road. Fair enough. You should and do, you're supposed to do that here, but they weren't crossing the road, dude. No, they were in the road. I mean, like, both lanes, many ducks deep, a big old, it was like a herd of flippin' ducks. Yeah, we have geese and goose crossing, geese and duck crossing signs too. They weren't crossing anything. They were just hanging out in the middle of the road, dude. Like, there was no traffic going any direction. And so we sat there for quite some time. And, yeah, no. Finally, the guy was just like, just move forward slowly. And I did, and I didn't hit them because they moved out of the way. But yeah, no, I'm not saying that you need to run over the geese. That's not what I'm talking about at all. But when the geese or the ducks are just standing there and you're in a stare off, something's got to go. Something's got to give. So you just move very slowly. And then they eventually move. And let's see here. Belly Bear, your brother had a motorcycle in Spokane at the time. You were his passenger, holding potato salad ingredients as he drove up a grassy hill in Hyde Park. We didn't quite make it up the hill. We crashed in slow motion and naked hippies came to help us. It was hilarious. Nice. See, your guardian angels were naked hippies. My guardian angel was a mulleted rock dude from the 1970s. And let's see here. Oh wow, a protected NASA wild turkey. They probably do get big out there. What are they called? Military bases. And I know that NASA's not necessarily a military base, but it is, might as well be. They have some of the most entitled animals because, you know, there's no hunting. And so they're just like totally not afraid of humans at all. They have the run of the roost. And, oh, Gina, I'm glad that you're enjoying my, stories of misspent youth. Well, the duck wasn't really a misspent youth. I was just getting beaten by a duck, man. And, so let's see here. Darlene, the last time you went up north, had to chicken wire the trees on your shoreline for a beaver was visiting and taking the trees out. That happened at a local park a few blocks from my house a couple streams ago, many streams ago. I had some pictures of it, actually. A random beaver showed up in the middle of the city, the middle of a city park, and decided that they were going to build a dam at Arbor Lake Park, and it was just so cute. So, except for it wasn't cute at all. Terry from Scotland, geese versus ducks. That's right. Let's see here. Oh no, what's going on with Vanilla Coke Pepsi here? Hold on. Oh, you're craving seafood right now, and you only crave seafood when something's wrong. Well, it could just be that that what's wrong is everything that I've said today. Every little bit of advice I've given you, every story I told today is wrong, and you should probably not emulate it. So that might be why you're craving seafood, because I'm the one that's wrong. Hey, C Honda, how you doing? C Honda, I'm not so sure if it was you or not, but I think it was you who suggested I do a holo holo in White Center. We saw that earlier today, and so if you were the one who suggested that, go catch the rerun for the first part of this stream, and you'll see the White Center holo holo. I will eventually be putting the video up on YouTube, but there's a couple sections that I kind of need to rework. I didn't point them out when we were talking during the video, but I know where they were, and you might have spotted them too if you had seen the video. And let's see here. Yes, exactly, and where Vanilla Coke Pepsi, the only thing that's wrong is that you haven't had seafood in a long time. Let's see. Wait, what's going on here? Cooked with panko? Wait, hold on. God dang it. I can't see what's going on here. Why won't... All right, I guess I won't know it was cooked with panko. Somebody made chicken tenders, though, so maybe that was what was cooked with panko. Oh, not panko? Okay. Yes. Okay, so C Honda, you did suggest that, and you missed some bad advice from Statter. Yeah, well, first off, the bad advice was how to confront ducks on the roadway. But also the bad advice, or not really bad advice, but do as I say, not as I do. And that's because I hit a house with my car. Not today, and not in the White Center Holo Holo video, but we got to talking about it, and I hit a house with my car. Try not to do that. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but not hitting houses in your car is actually, a good way to live your life. And let's see here. So, Vanilla Coke Pepsi, you love seafood and ribs, and you want lobster with ribs and a side of coconut shrimp, pina colada sauce. I don't know what pina colada sauce is, and I don't think it sounds very good, so you can have all of it, but I want to eat dinner where you're eating dinner. I'll give you all my sauce, but let's have lobster and ribs and popcorn shrimp. Okay, let's do that. After you get your driver's test license, Don't worry. Don't worry. You'll be fine with your driver's license. Let me just tell you right now. You know for a fact I'm not going to be on the road near you when you're taking your test. You know that for a fact. So you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Well, Vanilla Coke Pepsi. Really? Pina colada sauce? A sauce that tastes like pina colada? I know. I've just literally never heard of it. I've heard of pina coladas, for drinky, but I've never heard of a pina colada sauce. And I don't know, I don't think I would like it myself. That's all. Which is why I would share all of my sauce with you. And, C Honda, any pictures of house and car? I do not think I took any pictures of the car. I know that I didn't take any pictures of the house. However, the house is still there, and I can take a picture of the house that I hit. And I can also say that they remodeled a little bit, only a little bit, and where I hit the house with the car, they have since installed a deck, like a ground level deck. So if anybody does what I did again, they'll hit the deck instead of the house. And when I say they'll, I'm really hoping it's they, not me, because who would hit the same house twice in a row, right? Does that ever happen? Has that ever happened? Yeah, it has happened. My neighbor growing up, Dr. Tsu, he was a very, very smart anesthesiologist. He was not a good driver. And he managed to hit the same house twice. Yeah. House got hit. Same owners in the house, both times. He hit their house. Twice. And, see, Honda, can I do a recreation? No, I can't because the deck is in the way. Yeah, exactly. It's a buffer zone to the bathroom. And, let's see here. Yeah, you know, Terry, I'm thinking that you just lose the driver's test entirely. The moment that they have to, like, fill out paperwork because you hit something, you've failed. In fact, I failed my driver's license the first time I took it, the driving test, because I didn't hit an imaginary car, but the car that I was supposed to be imagining, the instructor said I would have hit it if it had been there. We were doing parallel parking, and he's like, no, just imagine there's another car there. And he didn't like the way I did. He's like, you would have hit that other car. So I didn't hit an imaginary car, and I still didn't get my license. So there's that. So let's see here, Vanilla. In Ontario, there's this 3 license, G1, which is written test. And then, yeah, that's what we have that here too. And that's what you take when you're like usually 15 and a half. And then once you pass your written test, you can then drive with another person. Yeah, just like in state of Washington. And then G2 is the driven exam. And then, oh, God dang it. And then you can drive anywhere except highways. And G, which is full. Oh, wow. Hold on. God dang it. So, okay, except for highways, and then G3, which is a full license you obtain by a road test on the highway. Okay, so we've got a similar situation, only slightly different. Well, actually, now in the state of Washington, things are very different, and I can't even begin to explain what they're like, because, like, between the ages of 16 and 18, you aren't allowed to drive after dark unless blah, 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 and you can only have one other kid in the car with you. There's a lot of weird rules these days. Well, they're not weird, they're based in reality, but back in my day, it was the written test to get your permit. Your permit, you could drive with another licensed driver. Then you take your road test, you pass your road test, and you get your full license to drive whenever. And it was the road test that I ran into the herd of ducks. When I came across the herd of ducks, I didn't hit any duck. And it was the road test that I didn't hit the imaginary car, so I didn't get to pass because the instructor thought I was going to hit the imaginary car. So yeah. Let's see here. No. Kenny from the Cove, if I holo holo by that house, would you be tempting fate heading down that lonely road? I'm flirting with disaster. No, I wouldn't be tempting fate because I pass that house all the time. It's on, I mean, it's on Delridge Way. And if you guys have ever been on my stream before, you might have heard me mention Delridge Way. Delridge is a thoroughfare that I am on literally every day. And so, well, every day that I go to work. And so, I drive by that house every day. And no, and the instructor didn't even have the orange cones to be the imaginary cars. So yeah, it really is very unfair. And Vanilla Cup-Cupsy, the idea of parking and turning makes you want to die. Well, you're going to need to learn how to do that. And check this out, Vanilla Cup-Cupsy. This actually might help you. What you're going to want to do, and act, I mean, as smart ass as everything that I've been saying to you earlier today, you know, it's just been a smart ass comment. This is actually for real. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to an empty parking lot, and you're going to want to teach yourself to reverse into a parking space. You know, the you know, at a grocery store, whatever. Reverse into that parking space. Learning to do that, you will gain confidence like nobody's business. Because I'll tell you right now, half the people on the road today can't even reverse into a flippin' parking space. So, you know, and like I said, empty parking lot. So you've just got nobody next to you. You're not going to, the worst you're going to do is run over a yellow line or a white line, right? But no, just practice reversing into a parking spot and you'll be golden. It really will help. And I know that it's like, really? Do I really want to listen to you? Of all the things I just said today, that's for real. Like, I'm actually totally being real about that. Belly Bear, you couldn't parallel park during your driver's road test, but the instructor passed you because you talked about the Navy and had a mini skirt on. Okay, well, there you go. So, Poppy Shaney, white and yellow lines have feelings too. Well, I guess. All right. And oh, good. You were planning on doing that anyway. Excellent. Excellent. Because it's a good plan. And I know I've just taken the wind out of your sails by endorsing your plan because it's like, well, if she thinks it's a good plan, I don't know if it's a good plan. But no, really, it is a good plan. See, even Darlene says it's a good plan. So let's see here. Shock's got another level of the giant parking lot with lots of islands in it for driving around in circles, forwards and backwards. Exactly. Yeah, parking lots are your friends. Parking lots are your friends. Why would you trust someone who runs over I didn't run over real estate. I ran into real estate. There's a difference. Let's see here. Vanilla Coop Pepsi, your mom's a firefighter and you've heard horror stories since you were a child. I don't know what horror stories. You mean like car accident horror stories, I guess? Let's see here. Shock, last time you taught someone, we went over to the mental hospital campus. It was very peaceful there. Excellent. I've found that, you know, I don't even know if I want to go there. I found that cemeteries are also a good place. However, you can wreck your car in a cemetery. I have done that too. That'll be a story for another time. Kenny from the Cove, you couldn't parallel park on your driver's test, but you're driving a four-door 1970 Buick Land Yacht. Yeah, well, dude, where was there room for you to parallel park? Did you have like an empty 5 blocks? You know, jeez, those things were huge. And oh no, Shock, you learned to drive in an orange 70 Ford Pinto. Obviously, you never got rear-ended. Let's see here. Okay, Belly Bear. Yes, so let's see what Belly Bear has to say. Probably a very good piece of advice. All you have to do is look in your left side mirror as you're backing into the space. When you see the sidewalk, turn your steering wheel to the right a bit and slowly back in. Oh, you know, isn't that funny? They make it sound so easy, and it really is easy once you get the hang of it. But yeah, it is so intimidating when you're learning. It really, like, the fact that you're scared and intimidated and like knocking, you know, your knees are knocking in your boots, so to speak, that is absolutely natural. So don't think yourself out of it, dude, because really your fears are, if you weren't afraid, I would just be like, oh dude, you ain't gonna pass because you think you know everything, and you know, right, you know, it's like, but you know you don't know everything, so you're golden in that way. And let's see here, and good empty church parking lots in the middle of the week. Although not Wednesdays. I don't know what it is about Wednesdays, but it seems like churches on Wednesdays like have stuff going on. Oh my goodness. No way, Poppy. You had to take your test in a long bed pickup with a 3 on the tree transmission? No, thank you. No, thank you. Yeah. So let's see here. Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't even know. I keep hearing about 3 on the tree and how it's unusual, but I don't think I've ever seen a 3 on the tree. Is it safe to assume this car also, it had a clutch, right? It's just that the gear was on the steering column, right? Is that what I'm understanding what 3 on the tree is? The gear shifter's on the steering column, the way like an automatic transmissions would be, but this still had a clutch, right? Kenny from the Cove coming in with yes, right. Okay, cool. I don't think I've ever seen one. They'd seem weird to me. Let's see here. Kenny from the Cove, when you had to drive your 77 Ford Pinto station wagon, your friends clown me so hard about that. Yeah, I bet, but I don't know, dude. I mean, did they have a car? Because you got to use a car. Did they get to use a car? Because if they didn't, then who's making fun of who at this point right now? And okay, Poppy Shaney, I'm not making things up. It's a clutch and a shift on the column. I got it right. Okay. I thought that's what it was. But as you guys know, I make stuff up in my head all the time. And let's see here. Belly Bear, try parallel parking, driving a stick shift on a downhill. Was driving your sister's Pinto. You think you tapped the car in the back and front, barely did it. Oh, dude. Now, okay. I don't know if that would have passed if you had tapped those cars in a driver's test in Washington. I don't know if that would have passed, but I abso-flippin-lutely, because I drive a standard still to this day. When I am trying to get parallel parked or get out of a parallel parking situation on a hill, dude, bumpers are for bumping. I mean, seriously, you tap. Yeah, of course you have to tap the one in the front, maybe, or the one in the back, maybe not the one in the, or whichever one's head facing downhill, whichever one's downhill from you. That bumpers are for bumping. You gotta tap them. That's how it works, man. And okay, Poppy Shaney, you were kind of reading my mind. I didn't ask it out loud, but I was wondering, when you're saying it should be called 4 on the tree because it has 4 gears, reverse, and 3 forward gears. I was wondering if it really only had 3 and if it was like reverse and then what, high and low? Like that seems weird, but what you're explaining makes way more sense. So let's see here. Oh no, Shock. You hate it when your legs are tangled in your blankets and you're dreaming about driving and you can't hit the clutch. Oh, that would suck. That really would suck. Yes, exactly. Bumpers were bumped and it was difficult. And you know what? Actually, now this is a very bad habit, but it is also realistic. When you are in a city situation, sometimes parking is tight. And so when you're maneuvering in that 47-point parallel, 47-point turn that you're parallel parking into the tiniest space that you may or may not be able to fit into, yeah, you might bump some bumpers. Bumpers are for bumping. That I fully am of this mindset, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that are just like offended by the idea that something might touch their precious car, but no, dude, bumpers are for bumping. It's just how that works. It's why they're called bumpers. Yeah, so, oh no, wait, is eMusic heading out? Oh, nope, I think people are just saying hi to eMusic. All right, excellent, excelente. Alrighty, you guys. So, I showed you my little white Center Holo Holo. Now I'm going to show you a couple other things. And these things are not exactly whales, but it is watery talk, and it is Wednesday. So we're not doing whale talk Wednesday, but it is Watery Wednesday. So I've got some pictures for you and one little video because it's super cute. But before that, Darlene's coming in supporting my rhetoric. See, that's what I've told Rick. She says, I'm just using my bumper. Precisely. And so let's see here. Bumpers these days aren't really, and let's see here. Bumpers these days aren't really meant to get bumped or bounced off of. for real more than once, they have to be replaced so they protect you in a real accident. Well, that's true, but when I say bump, I don't really mean like bump. I mean like they end up touching, you know? I mean, it's not like you're smashing into them. It's not like you're leaving a mark. You're touching them so softly that you're not going to leave a mark. Because then there might be a mark left on my car, and I don't want that. But yeah, you're right. If you do mess up your bumper, a lot of them have like weird gel capsules and stuff that are for. Yeah, you're right. You do if you bump your bumper too hard, you need to replace your bumper. That is it. And let's see here, Terry from Scotland, you pattern your life on my excellent advice. All right, well, Terry, how do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated? I figure your time on this earth is going to be short-lived if you're following any of my advice. So, do you want your ashes scattered any place particular? Just let us know. Let us know. Because I have a feeling we might need to know that if you're doing as I do, not as I say. Let's see here. Your spouse kept getting rear-ended, so he welded an I-beam onto the back of the car and put the shroud back on. That's kind of funny, actually. Kenny, your truck blue is an extended cab. Parking and navigation in a city environment can be fraught with anxiety. Absolutely. Absolutely it can be. And honestly, to tell you the truth, Kenny, I kind of get annoyed with people who take their big cars into the city environment. Now, I don't get annoyed with them when it's like, oh, clearly this is a work vehicle and this gentleman or woman needs this truck and they are working in it. And chances are if they're in the city, they're working and whatever. I have no problem with those ones. But the ones that I do have a problem with are the $250,000 dualies that are pristine, they wouldn't even let you load in a bag of grass seed in the back of their truck kind of thing. Like there's no work being done on this huge, shiny vehicle. There's no work that they're doing in it. It's just absolutely status symbol. And those trucks, when they're downtown, I give them no quarter. No, I'm not going to yield to you. No, you shouldn't have brought this here. This is downtown Seattle is the last place a person in a big truck needs to be, unless they need to be there in their big truck. And so, it's like, come on, dude, your truck is worth so flippin' much. I know you've got a smaller vehicle somewhere. There you go. So good, Darlene. Darlene knows about my soapbox. Darlene understands my soapbox. Yeah, I'm getting on a soapbox right here, right now. And let's see here. And you like the yeah, exactly. The pickup truck that's never seen a farm country road is very obnoxious. Precisely, exactly. And Poppy Shaney, don't bring your stretch limo to Seattle. There you go. And let's see here. What was I about to comment to? You hope that the reverse cameras become standard and required soon. And it's so funny you should say that. I don't like the reverse cameras. I turn them off. They give you a false sense of security. And I say that because I got into a car accident where somebody reversed into me because they didn't see me because they were looking in their rear view camera. They weren't looking in their side view mirrors. They weren't paying attention to everything that was going around. They just glanced in their rear view camera and saw that there was nobody behind them, and they just backed right up and ran right into my Subaru. And so I think that they're nice, but I think that people don't use them right. People don't use them as the only thing, as opposed to yet another tool in the arsenal of paying attention to what's going on around you. Now, some cars and trucks, vans and things like that, oh dude, you need those reverse camera things. But this flippin' flirpin' car that backed into me was like a tiny little, I don't know, it wasn't a Geo Metro, but it was like, you know, it was a little, like a Civic, it was a little Honda hatchback. It was a little vehicle. There was no need for this dude not to have seen me as he was backing up. And he wasn't even supposed to be backing up, actually. I was backing out of my parking space. He was supposed to be going forward into the parking lot. There was a lot going on, and he was trying to get out of somebody else's way. And, yeah, he just backed right up into my car, and it was just like, what? Ugh. And of course, it was the one time that I had left the laundromat to do errands. Normally, when I'm at the laundromat, I'm just like, I stay there for the 30 minutes that it takes to get the clothes out of the washer. But in that 30 minutes, I was going to be efficient with my time, I thought. And I was left the laundromat to go run a couple errands, and I was going to be back in time to get my laundry out of the washing machine. And of course, I get into a flippin' car accident. And so by the time I get to the laundry machine, you know, my clothes have been taken out by somebody else who needed the machine. And it's what you get for trying to be effective with your time, right? Yeah, see, Honda did the darn house back up into me. Exactly. So, and you love them for the short little tykes that parents don't always control running through parking lots. Yeah, I can appreciate that, but I don't know, man. The car that hit me, if that tyke would have been at the wrong angle, he probably still would have hit him, because he was just looking straight back, not angled back. Let's see here. Yeah, exactly, Anne. It's like, it's still a good idea to look through the windows, though. So let's see here. All right, so, Kenny from the Cove, in your defense, Blue's backseat is where you carry your folding walker. Well, there you go. And like I said, I probably wouldn't have looked. Your truck, my best guess has enough wear and tear on it that your truck is from Texas, for goodness sake. I would look at that truck and I would think, oh, that's a truck that's probably doing work in the city. But there's other trucks. It's like, that truck ain't doing that. That truck hasn't done a day of work in its life. But it is Water Wednesday, and we're almost done with this stream, so we got to get to Water Wednesday. Alrighty, you guys. Now, you may have heard of this aminal right here. Do you know who this aminal is? It's Rocky. That's right, Rocky on Honolulu with her cub, whatever they're called. Now, the pup has been fully weaned and has been removed from the Honolulu beach. I think they brought him to the North Shore, but I'm not really sure. It doesn't really matter. They have removed him from the beach. But we're not going to talk about Rocky. No, well, we are a little bit. First off, let's talk about Rocky. Rocky is 22 years old and has had 14 cubs. 14! So, I'm going to show you a little video that talks about Rocky. Now, this video that I'm going to show you was made before the incident. And I think you guys might know about the incident that I'm talking about, where Rocky accidentally, on purpose, for good reason, bit a tourist. But this video was taken before that happened. So, here's a little video about Rocky.
Aloha, everybody. Thank you for being with us tonight. A Hawaiian monk seal and her newborn pup are making Kaimana Beach their home for now. Rocky gave birth to her new pup named P08 yesterday in Waikiki. Now, the pair is expected to stick around for the next several weeks, so officials are once again reminding beachgoers to keep their distance. Bryce Moore has our top story.
Rocky is back in Waikiki, and she's not alone. The 22-year-old Hawaiian monk seal gave birth to her 14th pup on Saturday, and the public is asked to keep their distance. I spoke with photographer Joyce Shea, who says mom will bark and even bite if you get too close.
And there's nothing you can do about that because all moms are protective of their pups and babies. And no, there's instinct, she'll just jump at you. That's all there is.
NOAA regulations require folks to stay 50 feet back when there's a monk seal on the beach. When there's a mother and a pup, that increases to 150 feet. Experts say it's not just for their safety, it's for yours too.
A lot of people think they are cute. The mother is very, very protective. and that's the danger to visitors. And the other way round, if visitors come up and disturb, there's a chance that the mother will actually abandon the pup.
Shay says she's had to come between people and seals many times, especially when the protective fences haven't been put up yet.
I was like, I'll block them if I have to, I guess. But usually when you yell out and they're like, what's going on? Sometimes they can't even see there is a seal. They think it's a rock.
But Dr. Rossiter adds the fences don't stop everyone. He says just yesterday he saw a tourist approach Rocky and her new pup.
With her two little toddlers saying, do you want to go up and stroke him? Come on, let's go. And that didn't happen. I stopped that one. But yeah, people don't really understand. They may look cute, but they've got very strong teeth and a very strong bite.
Monk seals are listed as an endangered species. NOAA says their population hovers around the main Hawaiian islands have been on a gradual upward trend recently. And Shay agrees if we want to keep it that way, stay away.
I'm here not just for photography. I just watching them and I'm just happy. That's all. I'm happy.
Bryce Moore, KHON 2 News, working for Hawaii.
Alrighty, so Darlene, let's see here. Did they separate them? I don't know. What I do know is that the pup was weaned, and I think once the pup weans, now definitely do not quote me on this. I think once the pup gets weaned, they kind of go their own way, maybe? I don't know, but I think they kind of go their own way. And I'm fairly certain I read that the pup itself was moved to a different beach. Whether or not Rocky came with them, I don't know. So, that's that. But, all right, as you guys saw, they are adorable, right? But here's the deal, you guys. Okay, so, as you might know, this is a map of Hawaii. And if you look on the far, far left, that tiny little island, that is Ni'ihau. We're not talking about Ni'ihau. We're talking about the one next to it. That's Kauai. Most of Rocky's babies have been born on Kauai. But this one that we just saw was born on Honolulu, or on Oahu in Honolulu. But do you see that little pink heart in the middle of the picture? That particular island is Lanai, and as it turns out, this little baby seal is Rocky's great granddaughter. This picture of these two seals, same seal, two different pictures, is actually Rocky's great granddaughter, and this particular seal, its mom was born on Kauai, and then she went back to the identical island or the identical beach that she was born on, and she gave birth to this particular baby seal. And this particular baby seal, let's see, is called RQ88. And I don't know if they have a real name for it, but apparently not too many monk seals get born on Lanai. And this is like only the fourth one, I think, since like 2014. So not only has Rocky given birth to 14 different babies, her babies are having babies, and her babies' babies are having babies, and now she's got great granddaughters. And so I wanted to basically share the cuteness with everybody. You can see the resemblance, says eMusic, exactly. Yeah. So I wanted to share the little monk seal story. And on that note, I've got one Lono song that I think I'll share with you because we do have a little bit of time left. And this Lono tune is about a monk seal that found a baby monk seal that found itself in the waters of Molokai and jumped into an outrigger canoe that Lono was paddling in once. This particular monk seal was eventually removed by Noah and taken to, I believe, California. It had some cataracts on its eyes, needed surgery. We can do a whole stream about the saga of this particular monk seal pup that this song is written about. But why don't we close the show off with a great Lono tune?
Hoa Lona. Auheala oe, mai kaili, Molokai nui ahina, ho'i mai kaua, e pili aheala oe, ho'i mai, aheala oe, ho'i mai, Molokai nui ahina, o mehana uleo aina kaya ke a me kuapaka. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home. He puna hele Hoa Lona aua na i ke kai ma'ani ano keiki at the wharf, e aloha no kailio aukai, e aloha no kailio aukai, Molokai hui ahina, o mehana uleo, aina kaya ke a me kuapaka. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home. Make au e hauoli ia oe, e ke aloha, hoa i paani kai papau, e puna hele Hoa Lona, e puna hele Hoa Lona, Molokai nui ahina, o mehana o kuleo, aina kaya ke a me kuapaka. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home. Molokai nui ahina, o mehana o kuleo, aina kaya ke a me kuapaka. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home. Please, oh please, bring Hoa Lona home.
All right, there we go. So, C Honda talking about the super small world that we live in. And yes, exactly, Darlene. Perfect way to end the stream with a good Lono tune. So, all right, I want to thank everybody for hanging out today. Everybody who gift subbed and resubbed and just decided to hang out. And as C Honda pointed out, decided to hang out and listen to this wreck of a Wednesday. Yeah, Wreck Talk Wednesday is what it is. So, yeah, I got to listen to all my stories and tales of woe, so much so that we probably scared Vanilla Coke Pepsi from ever taking his driver's license. And Hoa Lona got home, apparently. No. Hoa Lona is in the Waikiki Zoo. She's not back in the wild. She is not returned to Molokai's waters. She is in captive now. in captivity. Like I said, the particular story of that particular monk seal could pretty much last a whole chatter with statter. And so I do want to thank eMusic for hanging out. And yes, you're going to be starting a class. I just got that message. So next time when you come in and you slide in late, we'll know where you were at. You were out and about learning stuff, which is exactly what you should be doing. All right, so we're going to watch Zoolander this Saturday for Statterbox at the cinema, 6 p.m. West Coast time, 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 9 p.m. on the East Coast. Zoolander, very silly movie. And hey, Pussycat, good to see you. You are here just in time to basically watch us head on out. And I'm not sure, it doesn't look like there's anybody I follow that's streaming right now. So I think, as per the usual, we are going to just say adios and aloha, and hopefully I'll see you on Saturday. If I don't see you on Saturday, hope to see you on Sunday. All right then, you guys. Thanks for hanging out. It was a good one.